I feel like anybody that runs a marathon's a pussy anyway. Run a full one, bitch.
Not a half one. A half Ironman.
Oh, fuck.
Like she got like food delivered to her, and I was like, I'm like, oh, you got some food, just like I'm like, oh, what'd you get to eat? So I'm just carb loading. I gotta do this half Ironman. I'm like, bitch, I ask you all that shit. God,
you ever seen CrossFit games, dude?
That shit's crazy.
Yeah, I watched that. Yeah.
Dude, the motherfuckers do some crazy
They're in
shit.
shape.
A Murph, you know what a Murph is?
Yeah.
It's like a mile, 100, 200 squats, and then another mile. Like some crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yo, welcome back to StanleyOni Boyz. It's your boy Griffin.
What's going on? It's your boy Kelvin, and I do have the new nose piercing. You can see it right here.
Yep. Good evening, it's Adon, and today we're joined by Master Sargent Key. Yep. How was it like hearing that? It's been a while, huh?
It's been a little bit since I heard that. Yeah.
Dang. So when did you enter your active duty?
See, I got out, and my end of service was in February 29th. But I got out in January, early January.
Oh, okay. Terminal leave?
2020, yeah.
Dang.
Yep.
This is racing, too.
So, John, fucking 20-year veteran, got to E9. Kind of, so obviously I was in the Marine Corps too, but he was in the Marine Corps.
E8.
Yeah. E8, sorry. Thank you.
So what's the difference between E8 E9?
Money.
Yeah. Money.
And position. I mean, so I was a master
you
sergeant.
broke boy.
So, yeah. Next one would have been master guns.
Bro, I was a little bit ashamed of myself when I looked at them, because you had a picture of you with your shadow box, and you had your chevrons.
Yeah.
And I was looking, I'm like, it's not gunny, it's one more. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I literally had to look it up. I'm like, wow.
When'd you get out?
17, yeah.
All right.
So I just did mine got out as a corporal.
Yeah.
The regular, degular.
Yeah.
So what made you want to enlist in the first place?
Well, I wanted to go to combat. I think
most people.
To be real, there was no war at the time, but not that I'm a crazy person that wants to kill people, but if there's people that need to die, I want to go kill them. There's certain people that need to be killed. So,
what do you think that is? Do you think people are born with that shit in them, or do you think it's like some shit that comes like while they're growing up that like
I don't know, man.
Puts that in their head.
I don't know how many people played soldier growing up.
A lot.
Put a stick in their hand and said it was a rifle and a bucket on their head.
And killed their best friend in the woods and buried him.
Exactly. They had a fun time doing it. And guess what? I had a fun time doing it. So
Hold up. Killed their best friend in the wood and buried him?
Allegedly. They never found the body.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. I think that was like, it's already like what's the time, like you can't charge you with it no more.
No, you can totally get charged for anything.
Yeah.
Any amount of time.
Isn't it statute of limitations?
I feel like it's a whole other thing.
I think there's a lot of podcasts we need to delete, boys.
But yeah, so 20 years enlisted active duty in the Marine Corps as an EOD. So that was your MOS, which MOS is military occupation specialist, basically your job.
Yeah.
That was your job. So can you explain what EOD does?
Well, I started off in artillery first.
Oh, okay.
In the Marine Corps, you can't go straight to EOD.
Oh,
you have to do something else first. It's a maturity thing. They want to make sure that you're, at least 21 years old.
Makes sense.
And you have a little bit of a service record they can look at to see if you're responsible enough to handle explosives, basically, and disarm bombs and things. But yeah, I ended up doing EOD. I went there and I joined the Marine Corps in '99. I went to EOD school in 2006. And the job basically is to learn how to disarm and destroy by detonation everything that is explosive. So a hand grenade, all the way up to nuclear weapons, how to deal with them. We're not obviously going to talk about that today, but and everything in between, you learn how to disarm it, how it works, how to get rid of it. Because it's not as simple as sticking a block of C4 on something to make it go away. Sometimes you got to put it in the right spots and things like that. You got to know what you can move and what you can't move if it's already been fired. There's a lot of any ordnance sitting out there that's on the battlefield is, or if it's down the street somewhere, because people still find stuff in weird places. It's dangerous. You don't want to touch it. So that's our job to know how to deal with those things.
Jeez, and you so when you're training for this, they actually giving you like real bombs, or
they're giving us inerted bombs. That's something else that we also do. We'll take whether it's a bomb or a missile or a rocket or whatever, we'll take it and we'll take all the explosives out of it and then put it back together. So then people can train with it. Right. So then you can actually teach with it a real rocket or a real bomb, and a real fuse. And say here's the instructions on how to deal with it. Now deal with it, and that's how you learn.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how to make a bomb, basically.
Yeah, I don't. I don't. I mean, it's kind of technical, or you can make it pretty simplistic. But Yeah, I don't do that.
So why
Don't make bombs.
so why didn't you decide to kind of like do that after you left like the military? Like not follow that same career path like as a civilian.
Well, I had the opportunity to do it, and Griffin knows about that. I talked to him about that about a year ago. The money's really good in it.
That was great, actually.
Yeah, the money's great.
Fucking amazing.
Hey,
You
without
was there? You was dating
No. But he
I
told
talked
me
to him
about it.
about it.
As like contracting.
Yeah, I mean, without being, I don't have a doctorate's degree, so I have no business making that much money. But I was sitting there thinking, man, finally, I'm going to get paid what I'm worth. But when it came down to it, I did 20 years of service. I did a lot of deployments, and I was gone from my family all the time. And I thought I was going to do that when I got out, but I wasn't willing to do it just for the money.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't willing to. And I got out of the Marine Corps at 20. I could have stayed longer. And I got out because I got tired of being gone all the time. I was sitting here thinking, what am I doing? I'm about to go back right when I get out
Do
and
exactly
do it
what
again,
you're doing. Yeah.
just to make way more money. But the money's not worth it. And when you're going there with your buddies and you're doing things, that's worth it. There's no way you're going to let 30 of your buddies in a dangerous place and you're not going to go with them if you get the opportunity. Yeah. But when you're doing it just for cash, it just doesn't seem right to me. But hey, kudos to those who make the money. Great for them. But I couldn't leave my family, and I wasn't going to do it just for money.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like, do you remember like the first like the first bomb you disarmed, or
Yeah.
how was that?
I mean, it was scary. I mean, a lot of them were scary actually, but yeah, the very first one I did myself, my team leader at the time, there was this. We were in Afghanistan, and well, I'm just kind of skipping Iraq here, but the first one I did by hand. We'll say that because that's different. When I was in Iraq, we used a lot of robots, but first one I did by hand. My big rock, like a big giant rock formation, and in the middle of this field in Afghanistan, and me and my team leader, we both did our perimeter searches and everything that we need to do to make sure that we could approach the one that was already found. And he went down and started working on that one. I'm kind of just screwing around, looking around, because I'm not going to sit there and do nothing. And found another one, and it was a few inches from me from it. I'm like, holy crap! I just found one. I was like, hey, can I deal with it? He's like, well, you've been trained. Go ahead. And it's kind of scary. And
so you basically volunteer for this?
Yeah, you have to volunteer, and you can quit too. You can say, I don't want to do this anymore. It's not going to be good for your career.
Really?
But yeah, it's an all volunteer force EOD.
Wow.
Because I mean, how can you tell somebody? And it's not to denigrate anyone else's job, but somebody that signed up to be a cook, you can tell them you don't want to cook. Too bad, you're going to go cook.
Yeah.
Somebody that's disarmed bombs every day, try to tell them that they're going to disarm bombs when they say they don't want to do it. I mean,
yeah,
it's a little bit different level.
Yeah.
So
kind of put everybody else at harm too.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you don't want somebody
that doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, because they're going to step over something or miss something. Say I didn't see anything, and then somebody else is going to step over it.
Yeah.
So it's all volunteer. But I mean, I had a great time doing it. It was fun.
Dang, the adrenaline in that has to be crazy, bro.
It is. There's I'm not gonna lie, I'm not ashamed of it. I mean, straight up, it's a scary job, dude. And it stayed scary for a while. I mean, each deployment when I was doing it, being gone for about 7 months at a time. The first few months, it gets a little bit less adrenaline, and then it gets to a point to where you're not scared at all for the next 4 months, pretty much doing it.
Isn't that amazing? Like the way the human body works. Like you can literally get used to anything, even disarming bombs, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's insane.
That is good, insane.
Yeah.
So, talk to me a little bit about boot camp. We'll go back in time. So, you enlisted. You wanted to go to war, right?
He just like. Of course, I'm looking at him. The tattoo he's got on his arm.
So,
did you go to Padres games? You get bit by sand fleas.
Sand fleas.
Okay.
Sand fleas.
Me too.
Yeah, absolutely. When in James, so
sand fleas, dude. We went to sand fleas too.
I'm so confused.
He knows what I'm talking about.
Sand fleas are there's two places where you go to boot camp.
Yeah.
So West Coast Marines, they go to fucking
San Diego.
Yeah.
It's like a vacation.
They actually go to a Padres game too.
So, yeah, we make fun of them because they get to go to Padres games during boot camp, and they probably don't enjoy it because I think they're sitting there at attention.
Probably like a parade dress.
They'll probably get their asses chewed before and after, and not during. But but then you go to, I say sand fleas because you go to Parris Island, South Carolina, you get bitten by sand fleas a lot.
Yeah,
so.
and it's miserable. And then the worst thing is when you have to stay so you can't move at all, but they're just picking at you, biting you, and then
they need to eat too.
Yeah, you're right.
They got to eat. You got to let them eat.
You're right. I'm Master Sergeant. You're right, dog. You're right. It's crazy, thinking about that now, because me, I got out as a corporal, E4, you know, and he's all the way in E8. This is like I mean, at the time, if I was enlisted in the Marine Corps, and then like
This is your dad.
That's like my grandfather. You know what I mean?
Top.
Yeah.
It's Kobe top.
So I guess so from like where you're at, like how many more like I guess like stages is there above you?
Well, on the enlisted side, there's one more, and I would have seen it. Like I'm confident that I would have. I never even got viewed for it, but I'd had to stay in longer. I'd probably be at least being viewed for one now for E9 master guns, but there's some good jobs in EOD for as a master guns, but you know the reason I just time for me to get out. Your retirement paperwork, they ask you, it's very simple to fill out. They say, why are you deciding to exit the Marine Corps, or why are you getting out, or why are you retiring, whatever they ask. And I just put because it's time.
Damn.
That was my
Can't
answer.
argue with that.
And they accepted it.
Yeah.
They didn't,
Can't argue with
question
that,
you or
man.
anything?
No, they didn't say a thing. And they probably see that in a lot of people because it's time. And man, when it's time to get out, it's time to get out.
Right.
I started getting really disgruntled at the end. So
Yeah, plus the job you have, man, just going out there every day, not knowing that you're gonna like live or not. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You can only describe it like me driving my girlfriend in the car, dude. You never know.
Yeah.
Might not make it home, dude. Might
Well,
not.
somebody like right now noticing like you got more tattoos and stuff.
Yeah, I've got 3 tattoos in the last few months. Like I had an armband here,
This one looks fresh. It's
and
cool.
yeah, this is about a month old, and this is like a week old.
Right.
So I'm just getting this armband covered up with actually it's the EOD tattoo. See, there's the EOD badge up there.
Oh damn.
There's that's the typical position you'll be in when you're actually disarming an IED. You're just taking a knee
Right.
and getting down because they're always buried or almost always buried. You know, you're
But
uncovering
you
them.
actually have a picture on Facebook
Yeah.
about it.
It's right here, actually.
Yeah, I took a screenshot of it. It's up there somewhere.
And then you know you got your general. These are like the NATO symbols. You got your general danger sign. You got your biohazard. You got your chemical weapon right here.
Damn.
And you got your radiological or nuclear right here.
What's the difference between a biohazard and and the other ones?
A biohazard would be
Hell yeah.
radio, man, radio.
Yeah, radio.
Biohazard just be like a like anthrax, for example, the letter bombs, those things that were sent, and then this radiological would be like a nuclear, whether it's a nuclear bomb or a dirty bomb or radioactive material kind of threats.
Dirty bombs aren't the same chicks at Tenoch.
Yeah,
Just to
yeah.
let you know, man.
Yeah, for sure.
But man, also too, like I've noticed, like you got a little beef here too, like some muscle on
Oh,
you.
thanks, man.
Yeah, like remember from the last time I saw you.
No, suck him off, George.
like-
Pull your dick out. Let him suck your dick, dude. Go ahead.
I thought this was the castle couch. Is that the castle couch?
No, because it's funny because like we used to work together at some disclosed place.
Disclosed
Yeah.
location.
But yeah, like we always talked about like working out and stuff. At the time, I was working out too, and I mean, now I just fucking gave up on it.
I try to stay, man. I just try to keep going.
But yeah, no, there's one random time you're like, hey man, what are you doing today?
Yeah,
And just one random day. He's like, you want to go to a bodybuilding competition in Chattanooga somewhere?
Yeah,
And I
man.
was like,
I had tickets. I had tickets to the. I can't remember where they're amateur trying to go pro. It was a really good show, and I knew a chick that was going. Wanted to see her in bikini, so I bought tickets to go, and then the one of my friends that was going to go with me canceled, so I tried calling George, but he just blew me off.
yeah, I think
It's like you're not important enough.
we were literally doing this that day.
Dude, the mental fucking dedication it takes to be a bodybuilder is insane. Dude. Like I saw the Kai Green, the dude with the giant braid.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, I have not ate out at a restaurant, something that was not like a meal prep in over 10 years, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy
insane.
dedication, man. I follow Kai Green too on Facebook. Yeah, he's good.
And I think a lot of people though, like those that I'm like, oh, steroids. I'm like, bro, you obviously on steroids,
Yeah.
but it's so much fucking more than that.
It's not like you just do steroids and then
No,
automatically you're buff as
you
hell
get
the next
abs and you're huge, bro.
Yeah.
They work
You can't
out
look, you can't look like this without some work, boys.
Yeah, those guys work hard, man.
No, you probably can actually. I mean, they eat probably 8 times a day.
Yep.
Work out for hours.
They don't enjoy anything they eat. They're so tired.
yeah.
They just chew
no.
and swallow, man. Chicken all the time, or oats and rice, man, just all the time. Yeah.
God, yeah.
terrible.
So, how was your boot camp experience? They beat you up in '99. That's when you went in. Because
They let's see, statute of limitation. We talked about that earlier. Yeah. No, I think there were some couple kids that I think got beat up that kind of deserved it.
most of the
didn't
time.
see it, But yeah, there was some of that going on, but there's no point in randomly just doing that, you know.
No, they do. You just wake up and there's like, and they just fucking they jump you.
Yeah, you know,
This is a bunch of motherfuckers just pointing at you.
no one ever beat me, you know.
Yeah.
That didn't happen to me, but I think it happened to a couple kids got their asses whooped a little bit
by like drill instructors and shit.
Well, they probably had them like doing jumping jacks, and then the drill instructor walked into them. You assaulted me. I wouldn't doubt if some of that went on, but no, I didn't see any of that. But
I remember just to be like dickheads, they would like just like they would like be yelling and they would just spit right in my face. They were like words that didn't even have like an S.
Yeah.
Like, how do you spit?
No S, no P, and you still spit.
Yeah, I'm like, how the fuck do you spit when you're just saying fucking hi, dude? Like,
man,
it's like
those dudes are legitimately angry. It's not a show. They're pissed off.
Dude, their job is it's a rough job. Being
it is a rough job, man. I'd never want to do that. But
and they're stuck there with you the 3 months too, right?
Oh yeah.
It's always the same drill. They don't like leave and then another one comes in, right?
No, it's like the same 3 or 4 dudes.
Yeah, they might rotate out.
I think it's like I can't remember how many's in the platoon. Like 50.
Fuckload. It's like 50 or 60, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah,
and they're with you the whole time. Like they do mold you, man. Like Marine Corps boot camp, like. There will be a change in you by the time you get out of there in that 13 weeks.
Yeah.
Sure.
See, David, he's a Marine. The guy was in here. He's a fucking drug addict.
they changed you, all right.
Back.
Did you see his sunglasses? He has Lady Gaga sunglasses. He wears them everywhere.
Oh, that dude is he's out of control. No, but you can't even talk like you have to talk in third person.
Yeah.
This recruit, that recruit. It's the weirdest thing going transition from that and then going like trying to talk normal.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this Marine request. I'm like,
yeah,
talk like a normal fucking person, but it's hard.
My son's Marine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's 22. Yeah, he's a Marine. And like for example, like Mel, when you get Mel, they hand you your mail, and if it's any kind of package, they make you open it up in front of them because you're not allowed to have any contraband, as they call it, cigarettes or food or anything like that. So I sent him a glitter bomb.
Oh, God.
Fuck yeah. It was little dicks. It was little glitter cocker balls, okay?
God,
that is awesome.
And when he opens it up, it's spring loaded and just shot dicks everywhere. And there was a note in there and it just said push. And yeah, he got slaughtered.
Oh, God.
He got slaughtered.
It's fucking hilarious.
Oh my God! So you basically just had just to fuck with him because you knew what was gonna happen.
Oh yeah,
That's funny, man. Holy shit!
Man, so like you saying you went in '99. Like, do you think like how much has it changed from like '99 to like now? Like your son's in it.
Yeah, so I talked to him about it. Some things have changed a little bit. I don't know if it's for the better or for the worse, but like when I went, I was starving the whole time. Like they're still hungry; they don't get to eat much. But one of the hardest things was we got like 60 seconds to eat every meal. You know, everybody would sit down and they would say go, and you would eat like a wild animal and try to get your food down. And then when you had 10 seconds left, they'd tell you had 10 seconds left, and then you get up and go throw the rest of your food away. And the reason they tell you had 10 seconds left because you want to take another bite, because when you're in uniform, you're not allowed to chew while you're walking. So you had to chew that up and swallow. So when they said 10 seconds, that was your last bite.
You can't chew while you're walking?
Can't chew while you're walking. You can't put your hands in your pockets.
No.
Can't be on your phone while you're walking in uniform.
Y'all got phones?
Yeah. Well, not in boot camp, but like, when you get out, like,
Oh, those Padres. Those Padres.
Yeah, those the West Coast Marines might have.
I don't know, man, because the recruiters at the mall, when I used to work at Foot Locker, the motherfuckers, I'm pretty sure they used to chew gum and be on their phone.
They
and
probably
shit.
were.
Yeah,
They're recruiters, man.
But I mean, when there's nobody else around to correct you,
Yeah,
I mean, like,
And no one knows. And besides, they're on the phone. They get away with it.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. You saying your son, you said back then you couldn't do none of this stuff. You were eating in a minute. You had a minute to eat and all that.
Yeah, so he got. I talked to him about that because to me that was one thing that just pissed me off every day. I never got to finish my food because I was hungry. They got time for them to eat because I warned him about that. I was like, look, you ain't gonna get to eat while you're there. But he told me like they gave him like probably like 4 minutes or something, adequate time to actually eat your food quickly.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think there's minor changes, but most part is pretty much the same. I think. You know,
overall,
they live in the same barracks. They have the same schedule.
the same exact.
They got their asses beat up all the time.
Full Metal Jacket, the exact same, exactly what it looks like. Legit.
Don told me a story, man, that supposedly if you're not on time in the Marines, dude, the drill sergeant will go take a flight to wherever your wife is and then fuck her and then come back.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah, that's what he told me.
He said he knew a guy. He said he got the first plane to Seattle just because this guy was 5 minutes late and fucked his wife.
That's normal.
Just classic shit.
Now it's nice to know where our fucking tax dollars are going, dog. All these fucking flights, man.
You gotta teach people lessons, you know?
So, my bad. Go ahead.
No, so like the hurt locker, like is that like an actual like is that how it is or is it?
No,
it's like just Hollywood shit.
That movie on a technical level was very off, and that pissed me off and made me not like the movie. But then later on, I got to thinking about it, like months later on, and it was actually a pretty good movie. Like it doesn't need to be technically right. You know?
Yeah,
I don't want my procedures out there of what I actually do to be put out there. So there's a lot of technical things that were wrong, but I think the movie itself was really good. So past the EOD stuff, you know, you got a guy that just goes and does a dangerous job and probably sees a lot of his buddies die, and then he just keeps going and he volunteers and keeps going back and just doesn't stop. I mean, that part of the movie I think was pretty good if you look at it from that perspective.
Right.
You know, so a lot of people like the movie.
But he doesn't stop for what? Because eventually he wants to get it wrong and...
No, not because he wants to. I mean, eventually you will. You can only roll that dice so many times.
Yeah.
You know, like some of the people I know that died were very, very good at their job, but they just did it so many times. It's eventually going to get you.
Yeah.
You know? Like there's skill involved, but there's also like luck.
And plus, like especially like when these motherfuckers know like people are trained to do this, they probably set like booby traps and all kinds of shit in there just so you're good.
Oh yeah, the last deployment I was on in Sargent, Afghanistan. I mean, booby traps all the time, man. Like that was like just normal. Like they put an IED in the ground that you step on. Well, guess what? They're going to booby trap it too for when you try to disarm it. And I'm not going to go into what those were, but yeah, they're watching you. They know what you do. They know what your procedures are, and they try to get you. They try to kill the guy that's defusing their bombs.
So how was it after boot camp going to your first well, you went to school first. How was your school?
EOD school or
well, just artillery school, and then from there.
Man, that was a long time ago.
I
was a nervous, scared new Marine. Like
high and tight.
Like get yelled at all the time. Like, man, why are everybody still yelling at me? I'm at a boot camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, artillery school first, and man, that was over 20 years ago now. I don't even remember much of that. Remember, man, we ran a lot there. EOD school though, I remember that one. That's pretty fresh.
So EOD school. So what made you want to go to EOD like school?
Well, just didn't feel like I was. I wanted to be more involved, more hands-on involved in the war.
Okay.
I wanted to do more than I was doing.
Talk about fucking hands-on. We'll get much more hands-on than that.
Yeah, that and they were hiring.
Yeah. Get hands-on with you right now, dog.
I'll pull that fucking nose piercing off.
No, I know. Like we've talked before about some stuff.
Yeah.
And like I had asked you one time if you've like ever been like blown up or like something detonated in front of you or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've had detonation. I've been around a lot of detonations. Like a lot. I've been knocked out a few times.
Can you hear anything, though?
I can. I mean, I've got tinnitus.
Hell yeah. 10% right there, baby.
I've got some, ringing in the ears, and it's not good for your head to get knocked out a lot.
Get concussions, man.
Yeah.
So we get knocked. So the blows were just knocking you out.
Yeah, man. That's
no one's blowing them.
I mean, maybe now.
It doesn't knock me out either. Maybe a cigarette and a nap.
He's like, hey, somebody's blowing me, all right?
But yeah, man, it's a rapid release of gases. I mean, it's pushing the air out is what it's doing, and when the air's moving that fast, dude, it's a shockwave. It hits you. Yeah. And I've been actually knocked unconscious a few times, but even besides those few times, I mean, just getting hit by a lot of blasts. So
damn, that be like the most grateful waking up ever. You're like, oh, fuck, I'm still alive.
Oh, dude, yeah. Or like when you're cutting a wire by hand, and you go,
I'm gonna call my grandma right now. I'm gonna tell her I love her right now.
I know I said I was gonna start going to church, but maybe next week. So you were enlisted during 9/11. How was that?
Man, that was crazy. So, were you ever at Camp Lejeune?
Mm-hmm.
You know Camp Lejeune? All right. So, I was an artillery at the time. It was a normal day. We weren't in the field. So, what were we doing? Not much of anything.
Just
sitting around, shop,
in
wrestling.
the barracks.
Like, I don't know, hazing each other,
Yeah, right.
having a good time.
Peeing in each other's sinks.
Yeah, stuff like that, you know. And somebody said, "Hey, look, turn on the radio." So the first tower had been hit, and then down the hallway, somebody had a TV with actually like the rabbit ears or whatever, you know,
God,
antenna.
you old as fuck.
And, and we went down there, and
Some guy came in a horse with a letter.
So speaking of that,
Al-Qaeda's coming. Al-Qaeda's coming.
speaking of that, we had our first episode this season, which is the second season we've had it. So it's like we're going on the second year. But he was a young guy. He's probably like 18, 19. Really nice dude. We asked him if he knew what a VHS was.
Oh yeah.
He had no idea.
No, he's like, yeah, I think I got one. You like put headphones in it, right?
Yeah, he's like, "What app is that?"
Yeah, and I was just like, what, dude? But yeah, sorry. But you can go back to your story.
All right. Yeah, man. So it was crazy, and man, it didn't take 30 minutes. Like they didn't wait for orders to come down from the top. It was just the whole base. They're like, "Everyone, go home right now. Get everything you were ever issued, and get back to base."
Jeez.
So I left base. I lived on base housing, but I had to leave the main gate to get to my house. I went home and just grabbed all my stuff and threw it in my car and started driving back to base. But by then we're on like, ThreatCon Delta or whatever, and they're searching all vehicles coming back into base. So it took me like 4 hours to get back on the base because now they're searching everyone's vehicle, and everyone just went home and got everything they own. So they had to do all that, and then we get back to base, and I didn't leave for over a month.
Damn.
And everybody was on, some kind of alert, and let's put it this way, I didn't get to leave for a month. So I was on a certain kind of alert while I was there on base, and everybody else was on alerts, and there was different posts all over base, and it was very
Extra
secure.
firewatch and shit, extra guards, extra duty.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, people forget it wasn't only 9/11, and the Pentagon got hit, and like
Yeah.
a bunch of shit got hit too.
So then everywhere was paranoid. Military bases, everybody was paranoid about it.
So it was crazy, man. It was crazy for a while, and then we went to war.
So then how was that whenever like that being told, George W. Bush, weapons of mass destruction, we're going over there?
Yellow cake. They got yellow cake.
No, what about that? What about that specifically?
How was that? Like whenever you finally heard, I'm like, yo, we're like,
I mean,
legit.
everybody was happy, but it wasn't just the military. Like the whole nation was happy, man. Like we're gonna go get some revenge. We're gonna
It
go
felt like
fuck
that was
some people up.
one of the last times that America was like united.
Yeah.
Like it was after that.
Well, I mean, there was American flags hanging all over the country
Everywhere, yeah.
after that happened. I mean, everywhere, American flags everywhere, and everybody was on the same page.
everybody,
And then, just you could just say a lot of it, man. Just politics, man. We just tear each other back up.
yeah,
We just tear each other back up again.
absolutely.
So
So then your first deployment, was it while you were in artillery?
yeah.
So how was that? And where'd you go?
Yeah, so my first deployment, man, it kind of sucked. I wasn't very happy with it. You'll see why I went to EOD. My first deployment, I was on a cruise, so I was on a Navy ship.
A Mew?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I sit in the Persian Gulf, man, and we had TV there, and I watched the war happen on the news.
Oh wow.
And I'm sitting there like every day being told we're leaving tomorrow.
Oh.
Tomorrow we're and that
Nothing-
happened. That was
not-
a 10-month float, man. Every day was tomorrow we're leaving. We're going to war, boys. Be ready, because that's what they needed to tell us to keep us ready.
Right.
We never left, man. I
So
mean,
for
we
10
just
months just sitting on ship.
yeah.
What was the
10
point?
months.
What was the point of that?
So when you're on a MU, Marine Expeditionary Unit, you're like a reserve force. So if anything happens anywhere, you can get there quick and act. So we ended up being used because they had the Civil War going
So
on.
honestly, you could have just been at home for 10 months.
Yeah.
10 months, it wouldn't.
Well, no, I mean, we did stuff. Like the Civil War broke out in Liberia, which was saving grace because it got us out of the Persian Gulf. And we went down there and flew into Liberia and took over the airport, and that was pretty cool. And the Civil War stopped when we showed up. They're like, yeah, we're not fighting anymore.
I know we could.
we could.
You can have it. You can have it.
Yeah, you guys, they took over the airport like in one day, so we're done. And I think it pretty much ended that Civil War.
God, shut up when you end the Civil War in one day.
Yeah, yeah, it's because 150 Marines landed. That's why.
Yeah.
That's all. If there's 200 of us, they're like, yeah,
There's 150 people in that country, dude.
this war's over, man. But and we did some other things too. But that's what a MU does. It's not their job to go fight wars. Really, it's to go be a quick reaction force when bad things happen. in that region of the world. So we were used properly, but it really sucked at the beginning, like sitting there and watching that war happen.
Especially when it was first going on. That was the craziest fucking thing, the craziest fucking time.
Yeah, and then I went back. That was in 03. Then I went back in 05 and still wasn't happy. And then with my participation, and that's why I went to EOD.
Same thing, another MEU?
No, I was on land, but I stayed on base.
Yeah,
I was in artillery. You can stay on base in artillery. And
right.
I was just like, you know what, I want to get out there, and that's why I joined EOD. And when you're on EOD, man, you're out there, dude. Like most of the time, I was just attached to the infantry.
Yeah. So how was the schooling for that?
EOD?
Yes,
it's really hard.
I'm telling
you, man, it's
hard. A lot of people fell out of it.
Very high failure rate.
Wow.
And the other services have a much higher failure rate in the Marine Corps because they let new people in. They let like people straight out of boot camp go to EOD school. They don't understand what they're getting into. They're not mature to do that job.
Fuck no.
But the Army and the Air Force do that, and the Navy does to a certain extent, and the Marine Corps doesn't. So we vet our guys properly first. So we have, I think it's probably around a 90% pass rate. Where the Army, I think, is like a 50% or 60% failure rate.
Damn.
It's just in contrast there. But they're willing to spend the money for that, and the Marine Corps is not. They're like, no, we're screening these dudes first.
Right.
But we have a high pass rate because of that. And it's a really hard school. It's really easy to fail. Like, it's so easy to fail. There's so many things to remember. It's just easy school to fail. But it's
remembering, like we were saying, why is the cutter, just certain explosives, like what to do for certain.
There's so much, man. It's like the whole scenario, the whole situation around you. Like you have so many safeties that you have to remember, and you have to you have a lot of safeties that you have to remember. You have a lot of potential threats that you have to remember, and things to counter those threats. It's not simply walking down and cutting the right wire.
Mm-hmm.
It's the whole scenario that you have to do everything right to make sure that you've taken every precaution that you can to get down there, to do your job safely and blow it up safely, and then get back, and then you have to type reports to make sure your reports are accurate. So there's just a lot that goes into it. So it's really easy to fail, even if it's not real hard, because you can get a simple problem.
Yeah.
I get a hand grenade that I got to stick a pin in, right, or something, but there's still room to fail on a simple job.
So you had to write up reports about pretty much every thing you disarm.
Everything. There's always reports at the end of the day. Even in Afghanistan, I had a laptop that didn't come with me, but when I was in my tent when I got back, and we had to record everything. Everything has to be documented. So
detailed, or you just shit blew up?
Pretty good detail.
Shit didn't blow up.
Pretty good detail.
Shit blew up. Shit didn't blow up.
I mean,
talking about things that are hard, man. You ever gone axe throwing, dude?
Well, you know what? I haven't done it at one of those axe throwing places. I've done it at trees, and it's fun.
Oh, we actually got.
You know, we need to go. Big Zach's. Check out our sponsors.
Oh, hey, coming from the StanleyOni Boyz here. Ever want to throw some axes? Do you live in the Northwest Georgia area? Well, right here in Dalton, Georgia, we have big axe throwing. At Big Zach's, you can bring all your family and friends and throw axes. You can even play Jenga like my boy Don right here.
Hey, Don from StanleyOni Boyz. Here at Big Zach's, we're veteran owned, veteran friendly. Nothing like having a couple beers, throw a couple axes with your friends. Isn't that right, Griffin? Oh, hey, it's Griffin.
And when you get your first bullseye here at Big Zach's, you get Vikinged up, and you get a picture go on the wall.
We also have seasonal leagues where people can come out and participate in an 8-week league event for a chance to win some medals and medallions. So make sure you go check them out at 825 Chattanooga Ave.
We're just not a business, we're a family. Axe on!
Right there.
But we do got a sponsor though. This is Big Zach's.
Yeah. So
It's
you go, tell them we send you, dude. They'll give you 15% off, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you also get a military discount too.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually another Marine owns it too.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Big Rock one time. Gang.
So we
There's Roger.
leaving all this in.
Yeah.
All right, that was great then.
You got to pee or anything?
No, I just did.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, good.
You want another beer?
Great.
I've been, I'll grab one off the table in a minute.
I mean, you don't want another.
Already grabbed
Coors?
one.
There's probably more Coors up in there.
It's cool, man. I'm not particular to course.
Oh,
Really.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
You just don't
I don't know.
why,
Put them in a
man.
box.
You just don't have Yingling, all right?
Bro, I've never heard of Yingling until I joined the Marine Corps.
Have you drank it?
Yeah, of course I
It's
fucking
America's oldest brewery. It's really good.
I've never till some dude from Pittsburgh. He's like,
Yeah.
hey, you need to try a Yingling, eh?
Yeah.
It's not what he-
It sounds like the most
okay.
Mexican is.
Yeah,
like,
why is your...
I don't know. That was my
Why does this dude from Pittsburgh sound like a cholo from fucking LA,
Ireland
dude?
or
that was my Pittsburgh
Cholo from
impersonation.
Ireland.
fucking sounded
Yeah, fool, my parents from Ireland, fool, but you know, I grew up here in East LA, fool.
Well, yeah, but no, yeah, never tried to join the Marine Corps. Also, never kissed a man until I joined the Marine Corps. So, did a lot of things.
There you go, man.
So then after
They say their service not done until you kiss a man, honestly.
it's true. It's true. So you go straight to a unit after that? How does that work? You get assigned to where do you go? Like,
There's an EOD.
yeah,
Well, I mean, there's different. There's an EOD company where more people go to, and then there's other smaller units too. It's just who you're supporting. Usually, I was with my unit, but when I deploy, I would attach to the infantry. You know,
So really, when you was a unit, you didn't do anything whenever you were overseas. Then
not as a unit, you don't.
not as a unit, yeah, because you just went off with the.
You go support people that need to be supported. So you know, people that are out doing things are the people that need support.
Yeah.
You know, so you're supporting whoever's out there.
What infantry battalion or company, whatever you're with?
See, I worked with 2-2 a couple times or a few times. 1-5, 3-7, I think. 1-8 and 1-6.
Okay, so was this all in Lejeune?
Some of those were out of California.
Yeah, right. Because I feel like 1-7's out of Pendleton or
Yeah,
out of Palms.
the odd numbers are West Coasters.
Yeah.
You know. They probably went to Padres games, but you know, I supported you know, a bunch of different infantry units basically.
So whenever you after you graduated EOD school, what rank were you?
I was at E6. Most people are E5s. Almost everybody's E5, but I had a very extended stay down at school.
Wow.
Yeah, not academic reasons or anything or legal problems. It was just
Sounds like there was some legal problems right there.
I was just the security and clearances. Sometimes those processes get delayed.
Right.
And I think that I went there and there was me and a few other dudes that had some just long delays. No one could tell us why. And it wasn't anything in our history. It was just, I don't know. Our paperwork got stuck at the bottom of the stack or something. Anyway, we got through it, and I got to graduate. But I was at school for 13 months.
As a
Long
staff
time.
When you were waiting, were you like thinking like a little bit in the back of your head, like they might come get me and turn me into Captain America?
I'm still waiting for that to happen.
You know,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm still waiting.
that's the only reason I would join the military.
Yeah,
Captain America.
Yeah.
might have to take your nose ring out though.
Yeah. You remember the first one? They like picked like the skinniest, scrawniest dude or whatever.
Yeah.
That could be me, dude. That could be me.
So a couple pictures you got on like on Facebook and stuff. Like you're holding a rocket launcher on a couple of them.
Am I?
Yeah. So there's
What am I wearing?
there's one.
There's the question.
You're wearing this. It's right here, the picture.
Oh, there's two. There's like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
One like you're out. It looks like you're out in Afghanistan, but it doesn't have a rocket in it. It's just a launcher part.
Is it me and some other dudes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just us screwing around.
So
I think I was the only one with a fake weapon. Well, mine wasn't fake. Mine wasn't loaded or heavy built.
Just like the shell.
Yeah, it was a PG-7, RPG-7 launcher, yeah.
I don't think nobody blames. I think nobody's like, look at this pussy without the
RPG and loaded.
And then like it was you with like a red blazer and like blue pants.
That was a Christmas party. That was an office Christmas party.
So of course he's gonna bring his fucking rocket launcher,
So
George.
yeah, because we have those are nerded ordnance. So we have all kind of stuff that we've taken apart, taking the explosives out and put them back together.
because like somebody else had like a big ass like machine gun.
Yeah,
too.
my buddy James. Yeah, he-
James, you son of a bitch.
I had a flamethrower in one of those too, or something.
I don't think I
You
saw.
fucking what? You guys got an issue flamethrower? Is this Vietnam, dog?
We got them. I mean,
Holy fuck.
yeah, EOD shop, man. They have a lot of cool stuff.
That must be the worst way to die, right? Flamethrower.
Probably. Yeah.
Because it's just like
definitely
it,
top
I'm just gonna
5 for
agree
sure.
with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's almost better dying. Like if you make it out of that, it's just like
It's better to get blown up or shot than
Yeah.
get hit by a flamethrower.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
what would be worse though? Like you getting hit with the flamethrower, or you having the flamethrower and getting shot in the back, and the flamethrower blows up.
That might be quicker death if it blows up on you. Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
probably so.
Because I always see it in the movies, and like they always shoot it, and like they just see the dude running around, like going crazy, and just
Probably. I
Yeah,
mean,
you also see like shit blow up behind people in movies. Like there's like literally like 2 feet away, and they're just walking like a fucking badass. Like that motherfucker would have been blown too.
I've done that. Man, one time I had gotten wet the day before. I was in a creek, and my fuse had gotten wet, and I tried to blow up these explosives, and it didn't work because my fuse was wet. Like I remember, I was in a creek yesterday, so I went to cut some off, and like an idiot. Instead of cutting like a few inches back, I cut it like a few inches till the end. I'm like, man, I'm stupid. Why did I do this? So I call my buddy. I'm like, hey, Chris, come here. So you got a lighter, man? Because he smoked. So I lit it with a torch lighter, and we're like walking off. And I thought it was going to be like this 5-pound explosion because it was the jug was a 5-pound jug. I know what the jug was. Everything's buried, but I could see the jug. Well, underneath that 5-pound jug was a 40-pound jug, and I didn't know about it. Wow. So I'm expecting this little explosion behind me. I'm like, no big deal, just walking back and do this. Boom! It almost knocked me out. And I couldn't hear. I couldn't think straight, nothing. And I just went back and told the squad leader, I was like, hey, take us back to base on the safest possible route. I cannot disarm anything else today. Just get me back home, man. He's like, all right, we're going through this field. Yeah.
So you have a guy whose job is just to drive you there, and then
we were on foot. We were walking. We walk around. But I told, because you can purposely take like what you think is going to be safer routes or more dangerous routes. You can't always take the safest routes.
And can you like explain to us what would make a route look safer than not safe? What exactly? How do you determine a safe route?
If you see a lot of graffiti,
well, that's
don't
it,
do it, dude.
That's it.
If you see a guy selling ice cream in a little like paleta,
Let me ask you this, or Griffin. Let me ask you this. All right, if you have a field where it's freshly plowed, where they're growing crops, or you have a footpath that is meant for walking on, which one's probably safer in this situation?
probably the field of crops.
There you go, because it's hard to target you in a random field, right?
Yeah.
That footpath, though, man.
Good job, man.
Good job.
Good job. I always knew you were winning at the military trivia game, dude.
Military expert right here.
There you go. Give him a contract. Give him a bomb to this arm.
Nope. Let's not do that.
So how was your first deployment as EOD?
It was really busy, man. I got lucky that every one of them is EOD. I got to go to really busy places. So I just stayed busy. I mean, I was out every day running around with the infantry. I'm not a grunt. I'm not an infantryman. But I went out every day and did everything the infantry did with them. And then whenever they would find or potentially find something dangerous, I would just come up and deal with it.
So they went on like what like just patrols, raids, or
foot patrols, raids,
security patrols.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
Planned raids, normal patrols. I mean, sometimes in the Marine Corps, you go out and your job is to go pick a fight. Like it's almost just like today you're going to go to this area. There's bad guys there. Go try to pick a fight. Mm-hmm. Go try to kill bad guys this day. And some days, it's go to this town and talk to this dude. Maybe he's a dude of influence, and we want to help him out.
Yeah,
let's go talk to him, see what he needs.
Village elder or something.
Yeah. Let's go see how his village is doing. Is there anything we can do for his village? So there's a lot of different things you'll do day to day, and I would just go out with them, and usually I would just look at who's going to the highest threat areas and just try to go with those people every day.
So like being with them, like you're still like, say if they were in a firefight, you're like you're still right there next to them.
Oh yeah, I'm in the firefight.
Going at it.
Yeah.
And it's not just like, oh, you're in the bag because like they need you more or anything.
Nah,
I wouldn't put them in the bag either.
You gotta place yourself where you think you're gonna be needed most likely, because we're limited. The EOD was limited commodity, so there may be like 4 patrols going out a day out of this one little bitty base of 40 dudes, but you're going to try to go where you think you're going to be needed the most.
Right.
Because guess what? You're going to end up there anyway if they need you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think they're going to need you down south, don't go on the patrol that's going north. Because if they do, you're going to have to draw. You're going to have to walk all the way down south to deal with it. So
everybody's just walking everywhere.
Certain places you drive, certain places you walk. Yeah.
Then with all that shit on you too, just like,
oh yeah,
and that fucking heat.
Oh yeah, or what's worse than the heat to me? The cold, man. I got so tired.
No one tells you desert gets cold,
man. Really? It gets so cold, and I got so tired of being cold.
So you much rather be in the heat than the cold?
Yeah, because you can drink water and get used to the heat. You ain't getting used to the cold, man. Fuck. Like when you're out there and you're supposed to be out there for 6 or 8 hours, and the mission changes and you're out there for 36. and you got no sleeping bag, but you're not going to. You got no sleeping bag. You don't have enough food, but you'll live without food. And you know, you got to stay out there and you got to spend the night somewhere with no blanket and it's 30 degrees. It sucks.
You cut on your homies, man.
You do.
You cut on your homies.
Never spoon. I went back to back plenty of times.
Yeah.
You scoot closer and closer to each other.
That's
too long, you're all like up against each other.
That's that old core shit because the new spoon, dog. Yeah.
You're spooning around. I'm hot and sweaty. Like, just hold me.
Nah, I was spooning in boot camp, dog. Fucking get with the times, dude.
Just for fun. It wasn't even cold then.
So, how was your first firefight?
It was, I guess, surreal. I guess a little bit, you know.
Could you see him?
No.
Yeah, that's what people don't realize. You can't.
Normally you don't see them. Normally you don't see them. You know where they're at. You know the tree line that they're at. They're building their firing at you from. You know, and you might see some muzzle flashes, but you got that building, so you know what windows you're aiming in. Or you know it's coming from that tree line and
general direction.
You got that tree line. Yeah, at night you'll see tracers and stuff, and muzzle flash is easier. But most of the time it's there.
So it's easier at night.
Well, it's easier to see exactly where they are at night. You may not have the reference. You may not have the reference of everything else around you, but where their muzzle flash is, yeah, it's easier at night. And then they use tracers too, like sometimes. And so sometimes it's easier to locate the enemy at night. And
what are tracers exactly?
They're bullets with a sulfur or something mixture on them. Basically, they catch on fire as they're flying through the air.
So really easy to see.
It looks like a laser almost. So if it's a long distance, so it almost looks slow motion, like you can see it moving. If it's beside you, it looks like a laser, but in the distance, you actually see the bullet traveling. Yeah,
like in the movies, you know, like you see like that one random bullet that you always like.
I thought we were just fighting dudes in tank tops and flip flops, dude.
Well.
A lot of them.
And AK-47s.
Yeah. With fucking guns.
Actually, you know what? They really like Skechers.
Hey, there's that one song, dude.
We don't have Skechers as a sponsor. Because I tell you what, the Taliban really likes Skechers, man.
Yeah, Skechers, Taliban approved.
Wear them Skechers, man.
Those stylish sons of bitches.
Hey, man, I see a Skechers footprint over here. They're closed, dog.
You ain't even kidding, because the farmers didn't wear Skechers, but the Taliban did. Yeah, I'm for real.
They get the light up ones.
I'm about looking at footprints around stuff. Like, man, they wear Skechers all the time.
Can't run flip flops.
No,
that's true. So I have a couple cousins that were in like Afghanistan. Like one was like the dude, I don't know what it is, but like he was on the Humvee with like the machine gun.
Yeah,
and another one, he was just like infantry.
Yeah,
but they brought back like a bunch of like cool shit from over there, like from money to like guns, like random shit.
Deers. You know?
Yeah, just random like pictures of like people decapitated and shit. But like, have you got any like, I guess, souvenirs people like that?
You have any heads, like severed heads with you?
Little shrunken heads you just put in drawers.
Man, if I had souvenirs, there's no way in hell I'd say it on here.
Hell yeah.
No way. I'd say it on here.
That's good.
Because no, I don't.
So I got a grenade, dude. So you want to go get them? Go get them. It's actually a fake grenade.
Were you ever close? I have a blue body. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, but were you ever like close to a Taliban enemy? Like, I mean, like you could see him like fucking maybe not arm's distance, but
yeah, not arm's distance, but pretty close. Yeah, there's this one time, man, where it was one of those things where we were going to say, could you, Joe Griffin, could you? I need beer.
Yeah, let me get one too. Let me get that one.
Yeah, let me get one too.
So, squad leader, man, he was gonna go talk to this like village elder or something. And he was in this big building, and I didn't need to go in there. There's me and a few dudes. We like hung out outside of this building and just to hold down security. And radio traffic started coming, and they said that the Taliban were saying when they stand up, shoot them. And there's me and like 4 dudes laying in this field. I'm like, man, they got to be talking about us. And then I see this little head popping around the corner, like not very far in front of us. And I can't shoot him. I mean, I don't know if it's a kid,
need a reason,
or if it's a bad guy. You know, it's just some kid popping around. I don't see a radio or some person. I don't know how old they were. But I was like, I can't shoot this guy. I'm pretty sure that's the one that I'm not going to shoot him.
How frustrating is that?
It gets frustrating, but you know what, man? Like you can make good judgment calls. if I saw him on the radio, for example, and they said that someone was radioing that stuff in, that would be maybe a different story. Okay, but in this case, I could just see his head popping around and stuff, and I knew it was him, but I couldn't confirm it, so I wasn't going to shoot. And they said when they stand up, shoot him, and the guys exited the building. They exited the other way, and they're calling us to tell us to come back, and I'm like, well, pretty sure we're going to get shot at when we stand up, but I'm like, well, let's just give this a try. And I was like, I'll stand up. And I stood up. God. I was like, hey, guys, nothing happened. And they started shooting at us, man. And they're pretty close. And but I'm not even trying to figure out where they are. We're running, dude, because we're like laying in the field.
Yeah.
And they're behind this wall, and they got bushes and trees and stuff. And
running in, okay, when you running, are we running in formation, or are you just?
Oh, we're booking it, man.
Just running.
There's a ditch behind us. There's a ditch like 20 meters behind us, like 20 yards behind us. That's just tall enough or just deep enough to where we can low crawl through it, and they can't shoot us. So we all run and like jump into that ditch, and we're kind of laughing. We can't stick our heads up, dude, because like these bullets are just pelting all around us, and we start. And then I'm like, maybe I can just get on all fours and kind of crawl faster. And I got all fours, and I saw up, and I saw bullets impacting around me. I'm like, nope, I'm getting back down. And then I hear frag out, and I'm like, frag out. That means that somebody threw a grenade. Mm-hmm. That's in English. I'm way closer to my buddies than the bad guys are close. What the hell are they thinking?
Yeah.
So I lay down, and I don't hear anything. I pop my head up. As soon as I pop my head up, it explodes. I was like, man, that's really bad. But I didn't get hit by anything. But it explodes like pretty damn close to me. Right. So the closest a grenade ever landed to me was a friendly grenade. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. The dude's name was Rose. His last name was Rose. He almost hit me with a grenade.
Hold on, his first name was Rose.
His last name.
His last name was Rose.
His last name. And he almost. That was the closest I almost actually got hit by a grenade. Was that?
That's a friendly.
Do you gotta fight him after that? You got
no,
to,
there wasn't time, dude. Like we got back up to the road, and then they started firing at us from this other place, and then we started individually rushing down the road. So there's like big rocks on the road. It's Afghanistan, man. There's like rocks on the side of the road. So like you're running one person at a time. Was like running from rock to rock to rock to rock. I actually saw something really brave that day. My team leader, actually, the very first guy, because I was about in the middle of them while we're running down the road, actually running towards the enemy at this point in time. But the very first guy says IED, which is a improvised explosive device. There's a bomb, and he points like right beside him, like he's behind a rock, and he points beside him on the road, yells IED. And you know, in 1 second, I'm thinking, okay, how do I get up there? Okay, I'm gonna run down this. There's a little ditch. I'm gonna get down there so I can run without getting shot. Then I'm gonna come up and deal with that ID. That 1 second while I'm thinking of that, my team leader, because I was a team member at that time, my team leader, I just see him running down the road, dude, taking all the fire. Like everyone's shooting at him. Everybody else is behind cover. He runs down the road. It's a dirt road. Like does a power slide on his knees, gets to the IED, disarms it in like 3 seconds. It wasn't a well calculated disarming, but kind of obvious. Like, okay, I think this is what I need to do, because it was exposed a little bit because that dude saw it and pointed it out. But I was like, man, that was really brave.
Holy fuck!
That was really brave. Like, why didn't I do that? And you know, you learn from things like that. And you learn to think differently. Like, why didn't I do that? And you know, you see a lot of things like that kind of form your decisions on things that you do later. But yeah, he was like, I'm not gonna let this dude die, and he went there and disarmed it like that in the middle of the firefight.
That's awesome, bro.
So like, I hear that a lot. Like even like from him, like talking to him about like the time he was in the military and stuff. And like, you know, like, what he says is like, I would die for my brothers out there.
Yeah.
So like, do they ingrain that like in your head like throughout boot camp, or is that just like something you pick up being in like war with them?
Well, in boot camp, they ingrain kill, not die for your brother so much. It's kill. And that's your job, is to kill the enemy. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't know. I guess that just kind of develops, I guess.
Like just being in the shit with them the whole time.
Yeah. Like, you know, you're going to take risks to try to keep people alive. So, you know, not everybody won't do it. Most people will.
Yeah. I remember I forgot what I was doing. It was in SOY when I was in my schooling. I forgot something, and it was something stupid. Maybe like fuck, I don't know. It was something dumb, some gear that I forgot, whatever, right? Yeah. And then I remember, like, you know, they did, and I'm like, oh, everybody pull out their blah blah, and I'm like, oh, Sergeant, I don't have my whatever. I'm like, you stupid motherfucker. I'm like, oh, so what if you forget your fucking rifle? I'm like, Sergeant, I don't think I'll forget my rifle. It's right. But you know, then I just like, what if you forget your ammo? What if you forget this? Blah blah. Is that like, then I'd probably die. You know, what if we get this thing coming? I'll probably die. I'm like, yeah. You know what's fucking worse than you probably dying? Your brother to the left and to your right is probably gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
That's what's fucking worse. And they just really instill that. Like, that's what's fucking worse.
Yeah.
Like you said, like how you just said, I'm like, why didn't I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like one of the Jason Durham, that Marine that jumped off the grenade. Mm-hmm. And I remember hearing stories about the people that were there. They're all like, I'm like, yeah, he got to because he saw it first. He was the fastest one there.
Yeah.
I would have done the same thing. It just becomes like, I'm like, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just second nature to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think if there's another draft, dude, like we would make it. I feel like there's some pussy ass motherfuckers.
Oh man,
here,
we don't need a draft.
TikToks and fucking YouTubes and shit.
We don't ever need a draft. No way.
People with podcasts too.
Yeah, this podcast losers.
Yeah,
Nerds.
People that get fucking pedicures and nose piercings. Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, they gonna
Right,
fucking
man.
make
Rock stars do that shit.
Yeah.
But you say you don't need a draft because there's so many willing bodies, or we just don't need
Man,
drafting as
it's nice having people that are willing to do the job. You know,
I heard
volunteers, man.
Yeah, because no one, like we were talking about earlier, like you know how it's like in some countries it's mandatory to join the military.
Yeah,
but you know, someone's, I'm like, oh, do you think it should be mandatory? I'm like, fuck no, I don't want someone that's there because they have to be there.
Yeah, I mean, even the people that voluntarily join, you still have a good percentage of them that be like, man, I wish I wasn't here. I wish I could do this.
Yeah.
So imagine if you had a draft and you made everyone do it, you'd have a very high percentage of people that don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that country? I think it's Israel. Where you have to go to the military like 4 years before you start any other career.
I think it's 2. They do 2 years of civil service, whether it's military or something else. I think most of them go to the military, but you have to do 2 years at least. I mean, but that way, man, like their entire population is trained.
Yeah,
even the old people, man, they've been trained. Like
I feel like everybody should get like at least like a couple months at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have 3 guns in my house. I don't know how to use any of them.
This brings me off of music videos. Yeah. South Korea's one too. There's actually a Korean zombie.
Yeah.
He's like a UFC fighter. So he had a couple fights. I'm like, fuck, I gotta do my mandatory military service.
Oh, wow.
So he left for 2 years. Then he came back and back to fighting, dog.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Shit, at least it's better than North Korea, dog. Fuck that place, dog. I just saw a fucking documentary about that place, dude. Holy
Up there eating dogs and stuff.
shit. Dogs, man. They're eating fucking ass, dog.
So you have a picture of you in a red polo and like Donald Trump standing in front of you.
George has seen every picture that you have.
Yeah, no, I looked it up yesterday. Yeah, but so like, I guess like explain that a little bit about the whole time in the White House.
Well, I mean, EOD, you disarm bombs, okay, and you know how to do that. And it's hard to find people that know how to do that. So you'll end up supporting other things sometimes, other than just traditional military jobs. So I've met some other people and been to other places here in the United States and other places around the world with other people. But it's just a skill set that most people don't have, so it's in demand. So sometimes you'll end up doing other things. I've met President Trump and President Carter and
Carter too.
Yeah, even Carter. Yeah, I mean after he's after he's president.
Yeah.
You know, I've met him and Obama and Clintons and I've been around some people, but it's just not many people have that skill set. So when you have that and you work for the government, you're likely to do some other things occasionally and go support other types of missions. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
You're sitting here with 2 Mexicans in the Dominican.
Who's your favorite celebrity that you've met, dude? I guess counting politicians too.
Well, let's just go with we'll stick with celebrities. Kylo Ren.
Oh,
the fucking Star Wars dude.
That was a
I was
Marine.
actually at a vehicle checkpoint in New York, and certain vehicles were allowed to go through, certain weren't, whatever. It was in the job of EOD. But he pulls up, man, and where he was going, I didn't have to search his vehicle. But I wish I would have looked. I go looking back, and I was like, "Hey, man, nice to meet you, man."
You recognize him
Cool.
instantly? 'Cause I feel like I feel like I would not recognize that.
That dude, he looks pretty.
It's hard to
How
miss
many people
him.
look like that guy?
Hard to miss him.
All
Yeah.
right. But I really wish I would have thought of
Star
saying,
Wars.
"This is not the vehicle we're looking for. Go ahead, sir." But I didn't. But I wish I would have.
Yeah.
This is not the vehicle we're looking for.
He just has that. He'll fit in the mask and everything in there, dude. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
One time I punked out a Navy SEAL, dog. I'm telling everybody that right now,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Not
say
really.
it. Tell the
How'd
story,
you-
dude.
So when I went on the mute too, and
Yeah.
the Navy SEALs were attached to our ship at one point, and I I had this watch. It was like a black G-Shock, but I spray painted it green, brown, whatever, the fucking camouflage colors. And then when I went to the gym, I remember I took it off, and I didn't realize it till like maybe like the next day where I'm like, fuck, where's my watch at? I didn't so I didn't find it. I remember I went to the gym like maybe next week or something like that, and I see one of the dudes. I'm like, wearing my watch, and it was like a Navy SEALs. I was like there, and I'm like, yo, that's my watch, and I know my watch because I spray painted it. Like, there's not much I could it's very. So I just go up to him like, hey man, where'd you find the watch? I'm like, oh, me and a buddy, like we traded whatever. I'm like, nah, bro, that's my watch. And he's like, oh, he's like, yeah, man, I left it here at the gym. You probably found it here at the gym. He's like, well, I guess, man, you could take it, I guess, if you want. I'm like, yeah,
yeah, well, it's mine.
It's my watch. Yeah, it is. Thanks. Yeah, thank you, dude. Yeah. And he's like, oh, fuck. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't do that, but I did. No, I mean, he just gave my watch back, dude. He's just being a nice guy. Dude.
Yeah.
I would've done the same.
Oh, he actually, while he was on deployment, too, he got in a fight. What was it, in L.A.? Ended up on World Star.
Yeah, no, I was so I was stationed. Actually, I was one of them West Coast Marines. I was stationed out in Pendleton.
Yeah,
and one of those never win. I never win.
Probably getting his toenails done.
Probably.
But whatever, just I went to like a bar right outside of base, which of course is just nothing but Marines and then fucking sluts trying to hook up with Marines.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And we ended up getting a big fight. Ended up on World Star the next day.
What's World Star?
You know what World Star is?
It's
it's the equivalent of just Zay not knowing what a VCR is.
It's more like a.
It's basically like a site where they post ratchet shit like fights.
Like it's more of an urban site. Yeah, I guess you can say.
And it used to be more about fights.
Oh, because there's.
So anyway, so you're on there, man.
Yeah. So
ghetto.
Yeah, I remember we were at the bar and I seen my buddy get kicked out, and I was dancing with some broad at the time.
Yeah,
I'm like, fuck, I'm not trying to leave. I'm over here. I might fucking hook up with this lady.
Hell yeah.
But whenever he gets kicked out, and his like lights come on, we're all leaving. I'm like, fuck. Get a number, and then I bounce. Then I just see my friend like arguing with this, and I think my boy has little man syndrome. The dude's 5'3", maybe 5'4", but he like just finds the biggest fucking dude, tries to fight with him, and so I just remember being, and I was really drunk. I don't really remember a lot, but I just remember like a guy like hovering over me. I remember pushing him, and then just fucking hitting him, and then he drops. And then I just remember getting on top of him, and I hit him a couple times, and then that's all that I got on video.
Yeah,
was you could hear me punch him. But then he just turns around and just sees me on top of him, kneeing him. The video will be up here somewhere. And it just becomes this whole huge thing. And people fight in the middle of the street. It's in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
And then, we probably could have, we would have been fighting for a while. But then eventually you just hear shh. And just warm spray on my face. I'm like, oh, fuck. I just got pepper sprayed. And oh, my God.
The bouncer?
I'm like, I'm done fighting, bro. I'm like, y'all win. Y'all win.
That hurts.
Yeah, it sucks.
That's not fun.
So
man.
that's my third time getting pepper sprayed. The second two were like fight courses, and I was like one time like in the street, and then we all get to the car and we're like snot, crying, waving our faces, burns. We're doing like a head count, and like, yo, is everybody here? I'm like, yo, everybody's here. It's like, fuck, what y'all trying to do? It's like, yo, let's go to Denny's. I'm fucking starving. So we go to Denny's, our shirts ripped, blood on us.
Snot still.
Yeah, just still. It was fun times though.
Yeah.
But how was the barracks party back in the day? Y'all still have them? Y'all had them back then?
Yeah.
Just nothing but fucking dudes.
Yeah, just a lot of drinking. I know there was groupie girls that would show up.
Really?
Oh yeah.
God, we're gay then, I guess.
Probably like I don't know. Probably older Marines. Probably some I don't know, man. No, there's girls that show up. Man, barracks. The craziest things I remember the barracks was just getting in fights. So like, when I was in artillery barracks, and then LAR, light armored reconnaissance, the LEVs, their barracks was next to ours, just getting in fights with them all the time, and shooting paintballs and stuff at each other's. Just stupid shit. God. Just
it was the funnest times though, right? It's just so simple.
Well, it's kind of like college, but
worse.
Probably a lot more rowdy.
Well, a lot more rowdy.
You're allowed to fight.
Yeah.
And get away with it. Like, all right, you two, stop beating each other up.
Come on.
All right, you 30 guys, stop beating up this 30 guys. Come on.
Because really, just like looking over each other. Like whoever's in charge, it's just your buddy that's over there.
Well, it's like your buddy in charge half the time at the barracks too.
Yeah.
It's like, hey guys, stop it! Shut the fuck up, Smith.
What is
okay?
What do you think about the war now? After everything, what do you think about the war?
Oh man, I still don't. Like, was it the right thing to do or whatever? I don't think about that, man, because it doesn't matter to me. I mean, not for like what I participated in. Like, it doesn't matter if it was right or wrong from my standpoint. It was my job to go there and do that. So, I did what I did. And as far as like people that we killed, I killed people that were trying to kill me. And like, did we try to help the people that we're there to try to help? Yeah, we did. I mean, we did everything. When I was in Afghanistan, man, we were trying to open up schools for kids, and because the Taliban wouldn't let them learn how to read or write, because that's the devil. You can't learn how to read. That's evil. So, we're trying to help kids open up schools and trying to help farmers like learn new ways to grow their crops, and vaccinating their cows, and just, I mean, from my standpoint, what I saw, literally they're trying to help people. Should we have been there or not? That wasn't for me to worry about.
Right.
So like stuff like that, I feel like it doesn't even like come up as much as just like the actual war part. Like it doesn't come up like the good stuff. Like if you were to ask me about it before you actually just told me right now, I would have no idea about it. I wouldn't know that y'all try to help out.
Bro,
like,
I didn't even know cows got vaccinated.
Yeah, I mean, they're camels. I don't know. I mean, they had sex with them, so you probably should vaccinate them for something.
Hey, StanleyOni Boyz want to say, if you're having sex with your animals, make sure they're vaccinated.
No, they had sex with dogs and donkeys, man. Not the cows, probably.
Goats, some would say.
Donkeys for sure. Yeah.
How was before we fucking get
out, some backwards people, man.
Before we fucking donkey. That's what you were gonna say, huh?
How's your time as a master sergeant? Being that fucking dude, I remember, being in the Marine Corps and looking at that guy. I'm like, man, fuck that guy, dude.
Man, well, think about it. So I had E5s and above. Okay, that's all I had in EOD was E5s and above. So I had no problem kids. You know what I'm saying? Because like the people, you did 4 years, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of your peers, man, I don't know where you were.
No, they were
a lot of your peers had problems. And like I didn't have to deal with that.
They were already mature. They were there to work.
We literally had first name basis. Is what we had. So, I don't know what happened, dude. So no, I had pretty good. It's pretty sweet, man. Like I had my Marines back. I would have their backs with the higher ups, and the higher ups would kind of listen to me because I was the disgruntled, grumpy master sergeant that had plenty of wartime. So it was pretty cool, man. Actually, I didn't take any shit from up higher, and I tried to take care of my Marines.
That's awesome, bro. That is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
All right, boom. So before we leave, man, give us 3 things you're thankful for.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Not me.
Not me.
Not George. Not her.
Griffin. I'm really thankful for Griffin.
But like,
man, I can't. 3 things.
3 things you're thankful for, man.
Man, I'm happy. Happy I met that girlfriend of mine. To be honest about what I'm happy about. I'm pretty happy about that.
Man, I don't want you to lie to me, you son of a bitch.
Happy about that. I'm happy I'm gonna go home and have sex with her tonight.
Hell yeah.
And I'm happy she's gonna make me breakfast in the morning.
Hell yeah. It sounds like the package deal.
Yeah. Well, she might make me breakfast. She'll at least make me coffee.
Hey, that's better than nothing.
Thank you, man. Thank you for your service.
Yeah,
it's been beautiful. As always, simplify, baby.
A correr los SOP. Dime G, le pasé por lado y no lo vi.